Welcome back to the Own It Masterclass. We love to teach you how to create life by design and to truly own your mind. And we teach this free masterclass once every quarter. And I'm so happy, thankful, and grateful to all of our current registrants. Thank you so much for choosing to bet on you. I want you to do this entire workshop like your life depends on it, because it just might. And this is the information that is not taught in schools, that I have spent almost 2 decades and a couple $100,000 to gain this acquired knowledge and specialized knowledge so that I could come and share it here with you guys today. So thank you so much for joining us. If you have not registered yet for the Own It Masterclass, you can go ahead and go to ownitempire.com/own it and get yourself registered today. And this will give you access to all the lives, all the replays, our Zoom links, our bonuses, plus a 15-minute vision casting call with me. So this is my free gift to you for registering. We will dive deeper into your dreams and your goals, and then we will go through a guided visualization where I introduce to you the difference between a goal and the state of the goal achieved, because it is who we're being that we attract. And so we want to be the person with the goal achieved. Yet for the majority of the time, 98% of our thoughts, feelings, and actions are unconsciously, habitually the same. So if we don't change and we don't change our beliefs, nothing changes and our results remain the same. And we're going to go through the neuroscience and neurolinguistics programming of all of human conditioning, behavior, and change and how to manifest next week. So thank you for joining us live here on the pre-bonus training, and make sure that you come back next week. So we are live Monday to Friday next week, 1 p.m. Eastern. The session runs about an hour, and on Monday to Wednesday, that's our 3 key days. So those are our 3 key days where I'm teaching the keys to transformation and to own your mind by design and life by design. On Thursday, we have a bonus session for you, and this is an open house mastermind session where you get to mastermind with our clients, yet it's a closed door. So it's not casted and it's not recorded, so that you feel safe in your unconscious mind can allow you to truly be authentic. We do not cast or record that session. So we do invite you to the open house bonus mastermind session on Thursday next week, as well as I'm teaching one of my favorite trainings, the bonus heart-led sales training, on Friday next week. So that is from the 8th to the 12th at 1 p.m. Eastern to 2 p.m. Eastern. And then we'll have a bonus recap session on Sunday, next Sunday. So that will be the 14th. And so make sure that you come back at 1 o'clock. That's the cold notes of the entire masterclass, so that you can get auto-suggested, the spaced repetition of an idea or thought over time, because often we need to hear things multiple times for our unconscious mind to allow it to fully sink in. And again, if you haven't booked your 15-minute vision casting call, please do go ahead and book that, because it's so much fun. We'll dive deeper into your dreams and your goals, and I will go through a guided visualization. And the idea is that you get into the state of the goal achieved through that visualization, and then you practice staying in the state of the goal achieved for the entire week. They say if you can do that for about 72 hours, everything will change. So starting today, and we like to say just for today, we are going to be in a state of possibility and gratitude. We're going to be in a state of the goal achieved, and we're going to begin to act as if, or what we call entering the spirit of it. So just take a moment and think about whatever you want and what it feels like it to have it. And then just be into the possibility of achieving that with ease and success, and start to feel how that feels. And then just for today, expect everything to work out for you smoothly, easily, and effortlessly. Now, today's bonus training is the 3 actions to help you level up your business in Q3. So we do know that the ecosystems have changed, the environment has changed, and things are switching up a little bit in business. So I want to make sure that we are constantly evolving with how the industries are evolving, so that you can stay ahead of the game. So the 3 key things we're going to go through today are how to own your brand awareness, how to own your sales database, and how to create quantum leap actions. So let's kick off with the first one, how to own your brand awareness. So the first thing is Think about your brand has its own personality. What do you want people to think and feel when they see your brand, when they think about your brand, when they think about you and what you represent for your brand? And think about every time you post, every time you do something for your company, what is the feeling you want people to get when they associate with your brand? This is one of the number one things because we often forget that the feeling is the secret. And that's a really great book if you want to check it out. It's a really short, simple book. I love it on Audible. It's like 45 minutes. So what is that secret feeling that you want your clients and your potential clients to feel? And you want to be able to portray that through your content, through your events, through your networking, and truly represent your brand and leave people with the feeling of an impression of increase. And so that means leaving them better than how you found them. And so next time you go to put up a content post or do something that is representing your brand, go in by setting an intention and decide what is it that the message is portraying and how do you want people to feel after this interaction? Because they're going to remember the feeling you left them with. Is it a post about doom and gloom and then they leave in fear and worry and doubt? They're not coming back. Okay, so we want to leave them with an impression of increase. Second of all, we want to have clear brand messaging. So I'm going to just quickly go through how to set up your podcast pitch. So if you haven't done this before or it's new to you, it's just like the old elevator pitch. It's how you would introduce yourself on a podcast. It's also how you would begin to introduce yourself in conversation. So there's three key parts. And the first is who you are and what do you do? So who are you and what do you do? This is what we call your one-liner. This is a great way to introduce yourself. Hello, I'm Heather Lee Chapman, your holistic high performance coach. And then the second part is who you help and the results you help them get. At Own It Empire, we help conscious entrepreneurs increase their impact and their income and live life by design. So who do you help? And what are the results you help them get? Excellent. And then the third part is your mission and your why. So guess what? Entrepreneurship is a journey. There are highs and lows and ups and downs, and we win or lose in the mind first. And what is going to have you stay committed to your vision and your goals and your dreams and overcome obstacles and be in control regardless of external circumstances is your why. So we like to say, divorce your excuses and marry your why. Okay, so divorce your excuses, reasons, and alibis and marry your why. So what is your why? If somebody were to ask you, why did you start your business? Why do you keep going in your business? What's the impact you want to leave with people? What's your mission? Would you be able to clearly describe that to us in a sentence or two? And so let's put that all together. So who you are and what do you do? That's your one-liner. And then you have your second component, which is who you help and the results you help them get. Remember, people buy something to gain something or avoid a loss. So what are you helping them gain? And then the third component is your mission and your why. So why do you do what you do? I want you guys to be so connected to your business and your mission and your why that it brings you tears. It makes you so excited to get up every day because you get to run this business. Now, as everything is happening in the economy and everything is shifting, businesses also have to shift or will get left behind. I've seen a lot of business owners fold the table in and quit and give up, and I refuse to let you do that. So guess what? It all starts with a decision, and then your why. So you just decide, I'm doing it. This is why I'm doing it. This is why it's important. And then we divorce the excuses, reasons, and alibis, and we're going to truly own the mind. And we'll go through all the brain science of that next week. So I want you to take a moment, think about that, write it down. And if you want, you can drop that in the chat for us too. So now that you're absolutely clear on your messaging, what are your social media channels that you use the most? So I'd like you to take a look at your social media channels and do an audit. Do you have the same messaging across all channels? Is it absolutely clear on what you do? Is there a clickable link where they could book a call or figure out how to work with you? Is that social media content in alignment with that brand messaging? Are you leaving people with an impression of increase and the feeling you want them to have? So I know one of the ladies in the room here has a jewelry company. When people put their jewelry on, what do you want them to think and feel? I am Love Project as one of our previous clients. I absolutely love all their jewelry, and the necklaces, actually, I got one here. The necklaces come with a positive affirmation. I like this one, so I keep it on my desk. And it makes me feel so good when I put it on, and it makes me feel in possibility. And I always love to pick my necklaces out based on the energy that's associated with them. And there's just such a sense of love and gratitude and peace when I wear this jewelry, and also luxury, because it's all very, very beautiful. And so when I think about associating with that brand, I think about luxury, I think about beauty, I also think about giving back, because they're huge with giving back with their community and providing for their community and community involvement. So when people scroll across your content or they're associating with your brand, what is that feeling that you want them to have? And that goes right down to your content and your product and everything that's associated with your brand. And then what about PR opportunities? So your content is to nurture your current audience. So you have people in your ecosystem, and we're going to talk about from cold to close in a minute and what that circle looks like. But first, I want you to think about all the people who are following you that are current clients. All these people are in your current ecosystem. So they're coming across your social media channels and they're getting nurtured by your content. Now, if we keep putting up content and don't bring new people into the ecosystem, we're continuously to nurture the same people. So what we need to get into the habit of doing is putting ourselves in front of other people's audiences, getting into networking meetings and connecting with new people. And what this is going to do is bring new people back into your ecosystem. And then your social media channels that you just audited and updated are now going to look like a resume where that people can dive in, and you're going to have short form copy and short form content that is clickbait that gets people's attention. And then you'll have long form copy where people can dive in and get to know you. So if I went to one of your social media channels right now, could I go and watch 10 reels and read 10 posts and build that know, like, and trust factor and feel like I know you? And then is there a link where I could book a call with you or shop or buy or work with you? So we really want that to be working like a one pager almost on its own, so that when people come to those social media channels, they say it takes about 6 to 12 touches for a close. And we know if that's online only, it's actually closer to 20 or more. So they need to, have 10 reels, watch a podcast, see a post, see a client testimonial. You need to build that know, like, and trust factor. And so just thinking about this right now, building your brand awareness, you're going to make sure your messaging is clear. You're going to make sure you audit your platforms. You're going to make sure that your current content is in alignment with your brand message and mission. And you're going to make sure that you're booking PR and putting yourself in front of other people's ecosystems so that you're constantly bringing new people back into your ecosystem. So if you have any questions, please just drop that in the chat there, and I'm happy to answer them. And we're going to roll into number 2, because this one goes right into what we just talked about. So now you just brought new people into your ecosystem and you have current people in your ecosystem. What I want you to get into the habit of doing is working from your sales database. Our inboxes are wild and there are so many messages in there. And in order to not just show up to my inbox and answer a bunch of messages and never get deep or build a know, like, and trust factor, build rapport, or get to know anybody in there, and what most people do is they just go and they start answering messages. What I want you to get into the habit of is working from your sales database. So do you have a sales tracker? Everybody you interact with and interacts with your brand goes on the tracker. Then we want to qualify them. Are they a potential buyer? Are they a potential client? Are they a potential collaborator? Or are they not in alignment with the brand and we can disassociate? Okay, so really start to think about when you go to do your sales power hour or your networking or DMing, not just DMing everybody in the inbox, but actually working from that sales database. And we encourage you to pick your top 25 leads who are qualified and go deeper in the relationship with those top 25 leads and get them to a yes, a no, or a follow-up. We like to get out of the maybes because maybes are painful for you and them, right? Because then you feel like you're chasing them and they feel like you're chasing them, and it's uncomfortable for everyone. So we want to be absolutely clear. We've extended an offer. Would you like to? Yes. Awesome. No? Excellent. Maybe? Well, either yes or no. And if not, can we follow up later and have a follow-up booked? So let's talk about what this sales circle looks like. The inner circle, your hot leads, and then on the outer circle is your cold leads. So your inner circle is your current and past clients. These are upsells, renewals, downsells, keeping people in your ecosystem. Then you have your warm circle. These are referrals. I built a business, a one-on-one coaching business for a decade based on referrals. Relationship building is essential to sales. So your warm market are your referrals and also people who are already in your ecosystem. So they're in your DM or they're liking your content or they're watching your podcast or they're watching your stories. They're engaging with your brand. Then you have cold leads. These are people that you haven't met yet. So you're going out to connect with these people and bring them back into your ecosystem. And by going in front of other people's audiences is the best way to do that. So I just have a question here I want to answer. What if you feel like you have 2 to 3 different products and audiences, so your pitch constantly changes and you feel like it can't be comprehensive enough? Awesome. Okay, so often we do have multiple products because we do want to build out an ascension model. So we want to have a feeder, something that introduces people at a low price offer, that then they can get to the place to go into your larger offer, which then when they're ready, you can put them into your high ticket offer. So you do want to build out an ascension model. And often those are different avatars. So the person who may want to do the feeder might not be the exact same person who wants to do the middle product. And what you often can do is speak to that one high-end person, that high ticket client, and you'll attract people who are feeling that or on their way there, and you can downsell from there. Now, if they're completely different products with completely different audiences, you may want to have different social channels. So if one is for businesses and one is for children, you might want to have 2 different platforms, 2 different social media channels. So if it was completely different, if it's relatively the same, they're just maybe on a different part of their journey, then you still want to speak to that one ideal avatar. And then everyone else who's in alignment with that messaging will come in and you can either sell them that middle product, downsell, or upsell. Is that helpful, Laura? Awesome. Good. Amazing. Did you have any other questions around that, or is that okay?
No, I think that makes sense to go for like the ideal audience and others will follow instead of covering multiple different audiences in a way, because there's probably one ideal that is like your top paying client perhaps. So you might as well market towards that.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And when we can speak to one person, like one ideal audience, the messaging can be a lot clearer and be a lot more direct, and we can speak to those specific pain points. Yeah, absolutely. So in our business class, we actually drew an avatar on the piece of paper, so like a human stick figure, and then we wrote out all the details. So like in Lululemon, she's a 25-year-old yummy mummy, they call her. She's eco-friendly. She has extra income to spend. She buys quality products. And so thinking about who is that high ticket avatar, speaking to them, and then the others will fall in alignment. Love it. Amazing. So now that you're going to work from your sales database and all your connections you're going to start tracking on your database, you're going to pick your top 25 leads to qualify first. So go through your database. Who do you have the most touch points and most rapport with? Who in there is in alignment with your number one ideal avatar? And find a way to connect with them and deepen the relationship to be able to move it to a pivot point where you can do an ask, whether it's to come to an event, book a free connect call, or purchase or work with you. That is a game changer, by the way, when you work from a sales database. That means that will help you be able to do sales every single day, because once you get 30 to 60 to 90 days into doing this habit, you'll be able just to open your sales database and be like, okay, this person's at the pivot point to shop today. I can literally just send out some sales messages. And what I like to say is I love to do sales via text. And so getting into the habit of nurturing and building that relationship so that when the offer is extended, it's a no-brainer offer, and there's the know, like, and trust, so that that is there for you, and it's a no-brainer for them to say yes. So number 3 are quantum leap actions. This is my favorite because I love to teach the concept of inspired action. So what most people do is they do things begrudgingly, right? I know as business owners, we have so much to do, and it's always an evolutionary journey. And I also know that the energy that we do things in impacts our results. So there's 2 messages. There's the physical message, the actual physical thing that we're doing or saying, and then there's the energetic message. So we know that Simeon Curlian photographed your aura, your energetic body, way before even the 50s. So we know we have an auric body, we have an energetic body, an etheric body, which is connected to the ether net, which we're all on, which they call the quantum field or the net. Right? So we're all connected to this. Energy is neither created nor destroyed, only transferred. And every single thought has a thought impulse. So every thought that you have for 17 to 70 seconds creates an energy impulse that we can't see, just the way we can't see the Ethernet right now. And it's going out. So your physical action is doing one thing, and then your telepathic message is saying, I don't want to do this, or I'm afraid, or I'm not good enough, or why would they buy from me, or whatever that other message is. And what we call when the 2 messages are in alignment is coherence. And so what you're looking to do is create coherence between your head and your heart, because your heart says, I know what I have to offer is incredible. Yet your head might say, I don't know if I'm good enough, which is just a conflicting belief or a partial belief. So what we want to do is enter the spirit of the goal achieved. So the steps of inspired action look like this. First, you must decide and commit and burn the boats. What do you want? That's it, guys. That is one of the biggest things that stops most people from getting what they want. They don't decide. They're like, I think I'm going to, I might, it could work. No, you need to decide. If you've read the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, it is the first principle of success. Napoleon Hill spent his entire life studying the richest and most successful people in the world, the 500 richest, most successful people in the world, and 2,500 people who failed. And he put together the key principles for success in this book, as well as the key principles for failure, if you want to check that out. And the number 1 is to decide. So before you go and do anything, I want you to decide what you want the outcome to be. Okay, so that's number 1. What is the outcome? Number 2, you're going to create a future memory. So you're going to close your eyes and take yourself 5 minutes past the goal, the goal achieved. So Say you're having a sales call with somebody. Before you go into the sales call, you would sit and visualize what it would look like to have that successfully completed. So you take yourself beyond the goal of achievement, and that would look like onboarding the client. How would you know that has happened? You got an email saying the product has been purchased. Client is now in your library, and then they've got their welcome email, and you're going to see that in your inbox that all that's been sent and set up. So take yourself 5 minutes past the moment of the achievement and visualize what that looks and feels like to have that the way you want. And then we ask ourselves, what is the one thing that we can do that will breed the largest result in the least amount of time with the least amount of effort? And then we take action. So before we go and take the action, we want to make sure that the action is a quantum leap action. So the quantum leap principle goes like this. You want to take the smallest, easiest, simplest action that's going to get you the largest result in the least amount of time with the least amount of effort. And so instead of being busy and overwhelmed, look at that to-do list and ask yourself, which of these things is going to get me the largest result in the least amount of time with the least amount of effort? Okay, I'm going to decide what I want that outcome to look like. Amazing. Now I'm going to create a future memory. I'm going to take myself 5 minutes past that goal achieved, and I'm going to then go and take action. So now that you're going to take the quantum leap action, I want to remind us that we want to be working on daily sales. So when you go to do a daily sales ask today from your sales database, you're going to use this. Okay, so before you go and send the message, you're going to decide what you want the outcome to look like. You're going to visualize the goal achieved, and then you're going to take action in the spirit of the goal achieved, we like to call it. Perfect. Okay, so we got our brand built. We're going to make sure the messaging is clear, because if it's confusing and different on all channels, a confused mind says no. And you're going to make sure that you are working from your sales database, and that you not only are nurturing your top 25 leads and moving them to cold or a follow-up, that you are going to put in a sales funnel and sales events in your calendar. So we love to do brand building events like the Own It Masterclass, because it introduces so many new people into what we do. It's an incredible opportunity to build our brand. And we also have other sales funnels that help produce daily sales. So with everything that's going on, it is important that you do create, it could be a 5-day, a 3-day, a 1-day, some kind of event, or a webinar or a live webinar, however you want to see it, that is going to help build your brand, where you're consistently bringing the same message to your market, because you think I'm saying it for the 10th time, and somebody else is like, I've never even heard or seen this before. So you might think you're repeating yourself, and yet only about 2% of your followers see your content. And that's why it's important to be able to engage when you post. And we teach you all of that inside of our Own It Collective. So ask yourself, what daily activities do you have set up to help produce daily sales? And then what events, and we like to call them conversion events, are you doing, and brand building events that you are doing that is helping fill your calendar with calls so you can connect with more people and build your brand awareness? So from the top, we have our brand awareness. You're going to have your messaging, you're going to audit your platforms, and you're going to put yourself in front of other people's ecosystems. You're going to work from your sales database, and you're going to nurture leads from cold to close. And you're going to work from hot to cold when you do your sales. So when you work from your sales database, you're going to pick those top 25 hot leads. You're going to put something in place which is a brand building event, as well as sales funnels that help produce daily sales. business. And when you go and do your actions within your business, you're going to do it in the inspired action way, following the quantum leap method, which means you ask yourself, and sometimes you might actually just want to pause and sit down and close your eyes and take a big deep breath and follow your intuition and ask yourself, what is the thing that I can do that's going to bring me the largest results with the least amount of time and the least amount of effort? And then you can go and decide what you want that outcome to be. Take yourself 5 minutes past it, create that future memory, stay in the energy of the goal achieved, and then take inspired action. So these are your 3 keys to help set you up for success for Q3. So you're going to be able to make sure that you are nurturing your current leads, all your social channels, everything is clear so that when you bring new leads in, they know exactly what you do. You're putting yourself in front of other ecosystems. You are nurturing your current leads. You're building out your sales funnels, and you're taking inspired action. So I'm just going to open it up for questions. Does anyone have any questions, or would you like co-working to help support you to implement any of these? Whether it's your pitch, and just a reminder, we are casted live right now. So if you are uncomfortable being on camera, you can take your camera off and just unmute. If you don't mind, you could do both. So I will just leave it for a second to ask if there are any questions, and just reminding you guys that we are back on Monday, 1 p.m. Eastern. We're kicking off with our new and updated Own It Masterclass. You're going to see it's a little bit different. We used to teach something called Business Bliss, which was our 5 keys to manifesting. And we are going to be implementing that with the Own It Masterclass, which is going to teach you how to have the neurolinguistics programming basics to really go into the transformation process and come out on the other side thriving, because most people, when they start to transform, they crawl back to where they were. And that's where dis-ease sets in, because the chicken can't go back in the egg. You know you want to go over there, and you know you want that. And yet you're in this transformation tornado, and the current version of you is amazing and it got you here. Congratulations. And it's not going to get you there. And so you must change, your beliefs must change. Neville Goddard would say the current version of you needs to die so much that we don't even know where the body is buried. And so thus, in order to get to the other side, we've got to change our beliefs. We've got to work with the neuroscience. We've got to work with the brain, and we've got to work with our energy and our behavior. And so we're going to talk all about that next week. So make sure that you come back next week, Monday to Friday, 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern. We're live each day. We've got 3 trainings, an open house mastermind, and a bonus training, as well as on the Sunday, there's a bonus open recap session for you all. Awesome. So you asked, do I have a sales platform you recommend for Coach specifically? I've looked into Moxie, for example. So I currently just use a Google Sheets. That's what I use for my CRM. We also have Kajabi, which is our big CRM. There is something called Go High Level. We actually have somebody coming in as a guest speaker, a previous client of ours. And Go High Level is everything. It introduces the whole website, the CRM, your sales funnels, as well as it also takes all your messages. So if you're, Laura, say you and I are talking on Facebook, Instagram, email, WhatsApp, it's actually going to put it all together in one spot. And so Go High Level is something that I'm considering, as well as we actually have somebody coming in our program as a guest speaker to introduce to how to work with AI and automate. Now, I don't necessarily recommend to purchase on your own and go with it. There are people who have companies where they'll teach you how to do it, which is what Chantel does, because it is quite techy. And if that's not your cup of tea, then you might require some assistance to do that. And I would say that's probably been my favorite that I've seen, because it does take all of your messages from everyone and put it in one place. We do love our Kajabi, which manages our email lists, and we can put tags and segment our leads and custom emails for those tags and segments. So that's really helpful. But other than that, we actually work from a sales database from a Google Sheet. And previously, what I used to use was Asana. So I had an Asana board, and we would have labeled at the top, like podcast guests, people from the DM, cold, done a connect call, done a consult call, so on and so forth. And what we would do is we would just, they're tiles, and we would move the tile across the board. So connect call asked, connect call booked, connect call completed, consult call booked, and we would move them across that board. So if you're a visual person, I find that that's really handy, because you can just literally move them. I've also had a sales coach that did that and literally had a big Bristol board that she could fold, and she would just move the people across the board. So if you prefer physical, for sure, I know that that would be your like top 25 leads probably on that board, and still working from, say, that Google Sheet. We like the Google spreadsheet because we can put where people are at in the sales funnel, as well as all their information and everything we collect with them. And then also when we can go in and we can see like where we left off with that person and then continue from there. So we do give a sales template inside of our program as well. So there's that to access, but you could probably search one. And if anybody else has any recommendations that they use, just drop that in the chat or come back and let us know. Awesome. So if there's any other questions, go ahead and drop that in the chat. And then I just wanted to remind you, I almost forgot. I've brought it back. We brought it back last time. We're going to do it again this time, because we know that when we do the workbook and we do the work, those people who do the work get the better results. So Monday to Wednesday next week, when we're doing our first 3 key sessions at 4:30 to 5 p.m. Eastern, we're actually going to have a study club. So that study club is not recorded. It's not casted. It's a private group session where you get to bring your workbook and we'll actually fill it out and work on it together. So just a reminder, do come and join us at the study club. Bring your workbook. Let's work together. That'll be lots of fun. And just keep your eye on your email, because you will get an email from me on Sunday with the workbook. It is a Google workbook, which means you're just going to make a copy of the document. You can save it as a PDF for yourself, or you can just literally fill it out in your own Google document. We wanted to make it as super simple and easy for everyone. So this is your own adjustable workbook that you'll be able to work from. Amazing. So any other questions for today or support? And just a reminder, if you haven't booked your 15-minute vision casting call, I would love to dive deeper into your vision and do a guided visualization with you. If you've already attended our masterclass and you've done one before, that's okay. Book it again, because things change and you evolve and grow, and we can always add more detail. Amazing. So I just want to thank you guys for your time and your energy. For those who showed up live with us today, your time is one thing you don't get back. So thank you for spending it with us. We really appreciate you. And we look forward to having you at the Own It Masterclass next week, our Q3 live special event just for you guys. And again, remember, expect magic and miracles. Stay happy, healthy, wealthy, and ask yourself, what's the best that can happen? And for today, just for today, may everything work out perfectly, smoothly, and easily. And you're very welcome, Laura. Thank you, guys. Have a beautiful and blissful weekend, and we'll see you on Monday. Thank you. You're welcome, everybody.